skin brightening is the art of using, skincare products, or skin enhancers that aid the skin, for some to sustain moisture, to regenerate itself, to treat hyperpigmentation, to reduce the action of tyrosinase, control melanin or melanocytes and all that. So, for example, vitamin C, kojic acid, butene, these are ingredients that help to contain the activity of tyrosinase. Niacinamide, to some extent, azelaic acid, retinoids and all that, they have their contributions, but they have other things that they do, but they're all skin preppers. Aside their primary assignment, their skin preppers. Vitamin C fights free radicals alongside controlling and reducing, the proliferation of tyrosinase. You have cell communicating ingredients like retinol. You have other, especially exfoliants, right, that are very cell communicating. So in terms of being cell communicating, it means that it also helps speed up cell turnover, right? And what that means is that exfoliant helps you to take out dead skin cells. So if, for example, somebody is dealing with hyperpigmentation and you apply the use of things like azelaic acid, vitamin C, butene, with proper guidance, right concentrations, right texture, what that does is that it begins to treat the hyperpigmentation from inside out. It reduces the action of tyrosinase. It breaks down, clogged cells. It helps to begin to help enforce or encourage dead skins, to begin to reduce their action. So you begin to lose dead skin cells. New skin cells begin to find their way out. So you experience cell regeneration, cell repair, new skin cells exposure. What happens is that the hyperpigmentation begins to heal and to clear off over along weeks to months, right? And as they do, your base skin color, which is your proper natural biological skin color, comes to the fore. So if you are brighter than you actually look, treatments with brighteners, moisturizers, hydrators like hyaluronic acid, preppers like glycerin, the use of exfoliants, like the AHAs, like the glycolic acid, the lactic acid, the malic acid, especially glycolic acid that has a high intervention with regards to cell turnover, dead skin removal and all that. Azelaic acid that also serves as a tyrosinase control or a tyrosinase reducer. If you begin to use these products, what happens is that the dullness of your skin just disappears over time. Your appropriate skin color begins to show forward, and then of course you ensure proper moisturizing, you ensure proper nutrition, you ensure proper protection, right? So you can enhance your skin complexion through brightening, right? So brightening is actually following healthy, safe standards as with regards to the use of all the products I've just mentioned right now in different ways, as guided by a professional, to be able to get your skin to the point where your skin is even, right? You can have the experience or enjoy an even skin tone, a glowy skin tone, a silky skin tone, soft, appropriate textures and all that. So that happens with skin treatments, which encourages cell regeneration, cell repair, moisturization, effective hydration, all the relevant nutrients and all the relevant skin foods that your skin is supposed to be able to respond to. They have exposure to it, and so they can respond properly. And so, of course, these are things you have patience with proper guidance and effective routine and consistency. You get an appropriate result. So that being said, the use of steroids have their challenges, right? And by use of steroid, I repeat once again, this is the exposure to high range use of hydroquinone, right? The relevant or approved concentration for hydroquinone, if necessary to be used, is actually 2 to 4%. 2% over the counter, 4% with the recommendation of an appropriate, professional, a doctor or an appropriate skincare dermatologist and all that, right? And you buy it with recommendation, so you know what exactly to buy, how to use, in what portions to use, and how to appropriately put, especially when you're treating maybe dots, like melasma dots and all that, or certain kinds of discolorations. But if you're going to use a 4% hydroquinone, you need professional guidance. Now, so for percentages that are above this is classified as unhealthy, is unsafe, is an unsafe use, right? Because what these things do is that they wear out your epidermis. They take out that initial skin cover, exposing the underlayers, and skin is not supposed to be exposed in that way, right? Because the job of the epidermis is a skin cover. Long-standing use of things that have products that are mercury and high range hydroquinone based, would eventually damage the skin barrier, may cause irreparable skin damage. There is the possibility of skin cancer. So there are multidimensional things to put into consideration if you want to expose yourself to steroids. Just take note, whatever your decision is, that these are possibilities. There's a possibility of experiencing osteoporosis. So osteoporosis, that's something I may decide to start explaining in another video, if I deem it fit. If it's gonna sound like a complex conversation, then maybe it will be best to explain to a client during a consultation or something of that nature. But basic interpretation is, all around osteoporosis, around what's it called now, around the potential for skin cancer, around the potentials for skin barrier breakdown. All these are these are outcomes of extreme damage, right? And more complex is even the problem of skin cancer, all caused due to continuous and high range unsafe use of steroids, right? So now to the final part of what I want to say with regards to this is that fairness is beautiful, brown skin is beautiful, dark skin is beautiful. What the right thing is to take good care of your base complexion, so that your base complexion can express itself the best way it should, right? So if you're dark skinned, you do not have to necessarily prep your skin and move it tones lighter. That's not my decision to make, but just to put it on the table from a position of health, safety, appropriate skincare consumption basis. Every kind of skin color can be well taken care of to get the best outcome the best image, to give the best presentation of yourself, right? So you can always show up best. What you don't want is a dull skin color. What you don't want is to look as if you are dealing with hyperpigmentation, as if your skin is dull, as if there's some kind of haze, over your skin. That's what you don't want, right? So treatment takes care of that. Treatment takes care of that. The right skincare product with the right texture, the right concentration, the right routine. So by right routine is getting guidance on the right way to use, right? So that you get the right and the best outcome. So that's basically what you need, so that you can have an untampered skin. Your skin stays healthy, your life stays safe, right? You need to keep yourself healthy. You don't want to start dealing with complicated problems. You keep yourself healthy. So you sustain your health internally, externally. You can get the best in terms of your aura, in terms of your image presentation, in terms of how you want to show up. You don't have to be fair to show up right. You don't have to be whatever, something complex to show up right. You need to show up right, the best of you. And so just knowing the right thing to do, getting the right guidance and investing into the right product and routine is basically what you need to be able to show up your best self. And then, of course, other things that have to do with image management, from maybe, there's the contribution of nutrition, there's a contribution of clothing, there's a contribution of hair management, makeup management, all that and all that. There's just that holistic personal self-care that you need to develop into your lifestyle and get used to it, and have what it is you will call what works for you, right? That stuff that works for you, that helps you to give the best self, the best version of yourself. You could personalize it to yourself. It becomes a part of your personal branding, becomes part of who you have become, but without you investing into damage. So basically that's what I preach. My preaching, for want of a better word to say, is that your beauty is very critical, with health and safety at the back end of it. So you guys, love you, love you, love you, love you. See you another time.